by Athena to help, and who's ever been able to say no? See? Gotcha. So, but we did have dinner with Athena and Jean-Francois one night, and they told us the concept, and it sounded great. You know, we choose to live in this area, in the rural area, knowing that connections, networks are really one of the hallmarks of how these rural areas function. So the idea intrigued me, and then before we knew it, you know, I was swept right along, but happily so. So as Thina mentioned, we've done a lot of work, the hard lift with filing the application for official not-for-profit status, developing bylaws. Linda Matthews has been indispensable in keeping us organized with our organizational paperwork. But, and as Athena said, you know, we wanted to act like a village. So what is a village? And this is, you've got a little canary colored handout, so we didn't have access to technology, so this is the old-fashioned PowerPoint, right? Handout, and probably a waste of paper, but I tend to still be tactile and print out old-fashioned here. So I needed to also better understand what the village model was. There is an umbrella organization called Village to Village Network. It's VTVnetwork.org. I think it's listed on the second page. And they've been a really good umbrella to help us understand not only the village concept, but the individuality of what a village is. If you go to the website, there is a map of the, well, actually a global map, and there are hundreds of villages now. And you can fly over and you get the pop-up, and most of them have their websites. And we're on that map now too. Unbeknownst to me, in one of my day jobs, I do still work, day jobs, one of my day jobs that I was doing with federal grant writing, I worked with some folks over at Findlay Lake in Chautauqua County. And they were securing some federal grant funding for community betterment projects. And they told me that they were one of the few communities in New York State with the designation as a NORC community. I'm like, what? Yes, they were so proud. They are a NORC community, but I didn't realize that they're also a village. So NORC, does anybody know what NORC, N-O-R-C is? Naturally Occurring Retirement Community. So these were folks that had built early on around beautiful Findlay Lake. They wanted to stay in their homes. They retired. Many of them, unfortunately, were now, you know, single homes, having lost a spouse. They didn't want to leave their community. New York State just adopted that term, NORC. So they had a unique way to figure out, how do we as residents want to stay and live in this community can do so and support each other. They stumbled upon the village model, formed their own village, and I think I can't remember, but it's a real fancy title. Ithaca is Love Living at Home. We're Enchanted Mountains Village. But I was working with them years before I realized that they were a village and that we would be too. So we have a close one in Findlay Lake. There's an emerging one in Rochester, from what we understand, that's fairly along our own trajectory. So this isn't a pie in the sky. This is a valid model that was really started around 2002 in the Beacon Hill area of Massachusetts. Again, probably more like that NORC model, people wanting to stay in their communities, wanting to stay and be independently active in their own homes, but needing assistance. So that was the official first model. And you say, villages are a grassroots effort to address the current and unfolding challenges of aging. So who could have predicted the pandemic and the needs, and especially how we had to ramp up with technology and learn to communicate and build community on thumbnail sizes. And at its core, the village movement, so it's a movement. You are part of a movement, harkening back to the, the beatnik movement and a few generations ago. But it's a movement that is member driven. So each village's identity really is determined by its members deciding what is needed, what help, what assistance, but also what social activities, what cultural, what ongoing learning, what communications and network building is desired to maintain their livable, their quality of life. And there on the bottom of that second page is the b2bnetwork.org if you want to go and check out to find your village on the map. So just covering so a village, Zathina was talking about a village that night 3 years ago. I'm thinking, it's a bricks and mortar place, you have these cute little townhouses. It's not. So some villages are. Some villages do have co-housing, and I think most of those are out west. Most of these villages are defined as loose networks, where people are residing and living as independently as they can in their own homes. So that other page, looking at what the core principles are, and this is from the National Village to Village Handbook. So as villages are forming, there is mentorship that we're able to draw from, not only from the umbrella entity, but also from other villages. And really, community and connections through programs and services are some of the hallmarks. And whoever printed this small, I can't read, I gotta have my glasses. Seriously. Good God. Oh my God, there we go. And each village is self-governed and self-supporting, led by and for older adults. So we've set our parameters for village membership at age 55 and up. Looking at really blending. A lot of villages choose to go with age 62 with the assumption of retirement. But we also know that we have, some younger folks retiring early, but wanting and choosing to stay in their home community. So we really were hoping to tap on, the continuum of ages, 55 and up for membership benefits, but also we have pathways for volunteers, for business services, business supports, and sponsors. So age really isn't a limiting factor. For membership to be eligible for paid services, we are setting that at 55 and up. So basically, villages, through paid memberships or other arrangements of memberships, provide its members services and programs. And this just has a couple of different descriptors of what services are, what kind of programs are, as well as different potential benefits. I did want to read something. When we say services, and programs, now this is going to be long, and I'm going to sound like that guy at the end of the medical commercial, right? So services, according to the national umbrella, right, could be transportation for doctors, dentists, physical therapy, outpatient procedures, lab tests, shopping, bank, post office, drugstore, hairdresser, errands, visiting friends, concert, theater, special programs, trips to the airport, etc. Home maintenance, such as light household support, making simple repairs, changing screens and air conditioners, moving furniture, replacing hard-to-reach light bulbs, replacing smoke detector batteries, hanging pictures and mirrors, etc. Gardening, light yard care, garden sharing, watering plants while a member is away. Cleaning steps and walks of snow and leaves, dog walking. Who wants to age with their companions, but sometimes they're difficult to walk or care for. Hanging and taking down holiday decorations. Tech support for computers, printers, networking, cell phones, tablets, software and tutoring, TVs, remote controls, VCRs, answering machines, emergency alert devices, voice-activated assistants such as Google Voice and Alexa. Is any of this ringing a bell? Okay. Okay, keep going. This is from the net. This is an umbrella to, you know, give us these little brain seeds about what we could do and provide with our village. Social, companionship or friendly visits. Bringing flowers to the hospital, birthday card program, exercise, educational programs, outings and trips. Support with short-term help with meals, reading, sorting, organizing mail, helping to balance checkbooks or pay bills, short-term pet care, dog walking. It goes on and on and on. House minding, alternative housing assistance, decluttering and downsizing assistance for people, delivery of library books. Wellness, patient advocates, companions to appointments, care coordination, helping people understand applications for insurance, daily check-in, preparing for a hospital to visit, settling in after a hospital stay, and it goes on and on. Access to tax preparation services, helping with bill paying, and then that's just services, let alone programs like educational outings, field trips, trips to the Regina Quick Center next Sunday at what time are you coming? 2 o'clock, right? So as you can see, the idea just has the potential is limitless. So taking the handbook, seeding the paperwork to start Enchanted Mountains Village, we've made a lot of treadway, or what do you call it? A lot of traction here. And the next page is our mission statement that we've put a lot of thought into. The mission of the Enchanted Mountains Village is to support its members to age well at home by fostering connections to other members, community resources, educational, social activities, thus encouraging the development of a vibrant, involved, and mutually supported community. So I want to also just underscore what Athena said. We are not supplanting the Department of the Aging, interfaith caregivers, none of that. They are looking to us to help coordinate more seamless communication with people who could be potential users of their services. Villages act also as an intermediary to connect members to services within the community that they may not know of. Most villages do have paid staff. I'm not the director. Athena's acting as the day-to-day coordinator right now because we don't have a budget yet, right? So, but this first year is going to be a huge growth year. So, this blasts us right to where we are today with the official kickoff. Yay, Enchanted Mountains Village. And we are offering, you may have been part of our Facebook page or attended some activities. Those are all activities that, as we get a little bit more in our growth, will be limited to folks who will be members of this organization. We do have membership applications at the table along with a flyer, but typically members are beneficiary for those type of facilitated and coordinated services, such as all of that I read. Programs, there will be exclusive member programs and also programs for the general community where we invite our friends, family, like our hikes and other wellness activities. And one thing that we have done, because you've responded to the surveys, one of the last surveys we had you suggest people maybe that have done like plumbing or contracting work for you, and Warner has assembled all of that into our beginning emerging directory. So that would be one of the benefits that we can say, hey, our goal is to, eventually when we have a phone number, to be a one-call, one-stop coordination to help our members connect to these services. If Kristen says, hey, Ed and I need a little help with, who have other members recommended? Well, here's your directory, or here, this is what we can say. We could also say maybe perhaps who has not been recommended too, but we want to keep it positive. So that's what we strive to do. We want to be your one-call resource. So how can you help us grow from this first out of the chute year? Become a member. We're offering a 1-year introductory household membership for $75, or whatever is comfortable for your circumstances. And we'll also accept donations, or you can do both. So we're happy to take membership or donations because we are now an official 501c3 and we have a real bank account finally. Join a committee, and Teresa will mention the committees that we think we're forming, but we want to hear from our members. How do you want to take the reins? Okay, we've got a board of directors, but really, you guys are in the driver's seat. Tell us how you want to develop this organization. Volunteer to lead a program, a hike, or activity. Build our website. Not everybody at once, okay. And then promote Enchanted Mountain Village and engage new members. So that was a lot of territory to cover, and I don't want you to feel like you've got like, oh, we've got food and now we're like,
How about questions?
now we want you to become a member. I don't want you to feel like that at all. This is a social evening that we've wanted to plan for a long time. So, questions? Teresa, do you want to say anything?
Just that there's 2 sheets on the back table for people to sign up for committees. Like we said, we want it to be your group, so we want to know what kind of activities you're looking for. Do you know anybody that can do activities? So we have an activity program committee, and then we also have a marketing committee. So you can sign up at the back table for one of those committees. You're not committed to figuring out the whole thing. There will be a member of the board on each of the committees. So we will do this together, because it needs to be not just the 5 or 7 of us on the board. It needs to be your committee and your plan, what you're looking for, what you want out of this membership. So we'll work together on that.
Thank you. Questions?
I filled out a questionnaire on Facebook a while ago.
Yeah.
So is that?
That was a survey.
That was a survey.
Okay, all right, I just wanted to know what did I do?
Yeah, and the survey is on, you can find it, and also it has pie, Kim put in, these pie, graphs and so on. And we found, there's a variety of ages, so 55 to 90 basically. And right now, so far, and there were lots of people that said they could volunteer for this event, because besides being members, we can be volunteers. We can help one another. For me, that's the whole idea. And so you can. That is what that survey showed. It had a variety of people said they could do that. It also showed, what are your needs right now. There were no specified needs, but that will develop. So you can go and check that out. Also, you've left at some point, it'd be nice to at least acknowledge people's birthdays, the day, you don't have to give the year, but the day. It'd be nice. Mine's coming up, yeah. So that would be nice. A way of celebrating together, however we can safely in these times, and helping one another, and giving your talents and suggestions. And we'll see how it goes.
It's your village.
It's our village, yes.
So Kim,
Yeah.
if you need a plumber, say, and you call up, and you're a member, Do you get charged like for the service that connected you with somebody?
So
Or you
good
just pay
question.
the bond?
Alright, so Mary's got a question and I wanna clarify. So she's asking if the member needs a plumber, call the village. Is that a referral? Is that a compensated service? Is that, you're on your own or something like that? Okay.
Yeah.
And it could be any of the above. A lot of the villages, whose memberships are a whole lot higher than this, offer reduced rate services with businesses that they've been able to negotiate special pricing for village members. So, I mean, there's this whole potential of adding really value-based benefits. So, Mary, it could be yes, it could be, so-and-so plumbing service is a business associate of the village and they're offering a reduced fee for X number, for X type of services for village members. Or at this point where we don't have the full capacity yet, it may be just, well, here's the list of folks who've had good luck or good work with this plumber. We fully anticipate building the value to be, hey, you've got your membership card, which we're not there yet. You have your membership card, these are the folks that are offering discounted services or 1 free gutter cleaning a year. So, some real tangible value. But thanks for that question. Any others?
So is everybody excited?
Yeah.
Yes.